I love springtime. A lot of people love springtime. There's so much that's going on in springtime. Got a lot of energy to it. The talk today is Ready, Set, Spring. And one of the things that we like the most about springtime is the contrast, because it's been cold and dark and things have been stagnant and not moving for a long time. And then there is this sudden growth. There are buds, there are blossoms, there are sprouts, there's germination, there's newness all around us. And it's an exciting time. We've had 80-degree sunny days filled with promise and possibility. We've got daylight saving time going on, which means that the days are lasting longer. There's everything to be happy about. And then last week, one morning it was 28 degrees. It's like, wait a second, what happened to my spring? Some of the folks who joined us on our daily meditations had snow. Some of them surprising, a little bit of snow. Some of them a lot of snow. And it's like, it's April. It's springtime. What's going on? Why is this happening? It's because it's springtime, and that's what happens. This is what happens in April. And we get impatient. Where's my transformation? I want my springtime, and I want it now. I'm ready for spring. Ready, set, spring. I've been getting ready for this all winter long. And as I've been thinking about springtime, I'm wondering, because we look at nature and there's just so much lushness and beauty, the fragrances and the possibility coming up. You just wonder if springtime is a lot of work for the plants. You know, maybe they took the winter off. Maybe they just look forward to the break. Maybe the trees are spending the entire spring and summer and fall working. Oh, got to get my photosynthesis going. I need to bring in as much sunlight as I can. Okay, grow some more leaves, let go of the leaves, grow some more leaves, let go. Maybe it's a lot of work. I don't know. The birds in my yard seem very happy, but I don't know. I'm probably projecting that onto the birds. Are the birds happy? They're singing. Maybe they're songs of warning. I don't know. Maybe it's like a chain gang singing. I don't know. Maybe it's just the sort of thing that they do. A friend of mine gave me an amaryllis bulb. This thing came in a plastic pot. My instructions were to keep it in the sunshine and give it a little bit of water once a week. And that thing grew to like 18 inches tall. Gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful flower. Just sharing itself. And then it got so heavy it tipped over. And then it started to fade and wither, and it's gone now. So, springtime. Yes. Oy. And a lot of the things that we're doing, where we're celebrating spring, are actually a lot of work. Anybody familiar with the term spring cleaning? Anybody do any spring cleaning? Anybody have to do some spring cleaning? Yeah, and there's some stuff that we've been doing all winter long, and it's time to put some of those wintertime things away, and it's time to go through some of the things that were left over from last year that we never got rid of, and clean up and make some space. We do gardening metaphors in New Thought a lot about planting seeds and creating newness in our lives, and planting seed ideas and creating something new. And I have a garden. I'm having a vegetable garden this year, and I've been growing tomato seedlings in my basement for the last few weeks. And that's some work, clearing out the space and doing all the stuff and putting up the grow lights and all the rest of it. And the idea is not, let me do all of this stuff in my basement in March and April. The idea is, let me have fresh tomatoes in July and August. But there's work. There's work and activity that's involved. So it's not just, boom, springtime, happiness, it's all of a sudden upon us. You know, there are people who are saying, uh-oh, beach season is coming up. I've been eating too much all winter. It's time to change my behavior so I can go to the beach and not feel uncomfortable about myself when I'm at the beach. So even though there are joyous, happy activities that are going on, that burst of energy and sunshine, sometimes there's some work, sometimes there are some challenges. And the important thing to remember is that it's not just one story. There's a lot that's going on. We had a family gathering last night, It was Passover, so we had a Passover Seder. And it's a joyous opportunity for the kids to come over and for us to hang around together and have this celebration. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. Spring cleaning. Well, you have to vacuum. You have to vacuum anyway. But if there's people coming over, you specifically have to vacuum. And this is the day that you have to vacuum at the same time that you're preparing the dinner, at the same time that for a Passover, you're getting ready for the program because you have to tell the story of Passover for the Seder. And it's a lot of work. And yes, it's a joyous occasion. Is it worth it? Well, if you talk to people who used to have some sort of an annual celebration and now they don't anymore, it suddenly became unworth it. And if you find yourself called to, let me have this celebration, I'm going to host the holiday this year, there's some energy that goes into that. And it's about being in the balanced place of being okay with the amount of energy that we're putting into it. So there's something that you're doing to bring your springtime, your next blossom of whatever you're bringing into the world, to bring that around. And we always get to ask ourselves, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And look at the big picture. Do I have the energy? Do I have the money? Do I have the resources? Do I have the time to make this be the event and the activity that I want to? And if I'm going to let it go, if I'm going to pass on this one, am I going to be okay with that? So it's about finding our equilibrium and our balance point rather than just saying yes to everything. I don't think oak trees decide, oh, I'm not going to drop something this particular season. My oak trees are dropping stuff all year long. And I'm not sure if they're having a good time, but I hope they are, because there's a lot of cleanup to do for an oak tree. It's not just the acorns, it's the pollen that's coming down now and all the rest of the stuff. Because of the Passover Seder that we celebrated last night, I was reminded of the Passover story. And you've heard this is the story of Moses leading the Jews to the Promised Land. And the big Passover was the last of the plagues that killed the firstborn child in every family. Because the Jews were prepared, the angel of death passed them over. Good story. Good story. But there's a backstory there about how they got to be enslaved in Egypt and firstborn male child dying anyway. And the story is that many, many, many moons before that, the Canaanites were in a famine. So there wasn't enough to go around, and they were going to die off. So their leadership said, let's see if we can go to Egypt. We went to Egypt, made a deal with the Pharaoh. Can we stay here? Pharaoh said, sure. Put them to work. And it turns out they were pretty effective. They were good workers. And they also grew large families. And there kept being more and more and more of them. And so Pharaoh got a little concerned about this. So he enslaved them. Whoops, that's not why we came here. We came here for lunch. We came here to get away from the famine. So then they found themselves enslaved. And then Pharaoh decided, we really need to keep this population under control. So he came up with the idea of killing the firstborn male child in every family, keep the population down, keep them under control. This is one of those things where you have a great idea, not you. Somebody has a great idea and it backfires, because one of the kids who was going to get killed was Moses. And he got saved and inadvertently got raised by Pharaoh. And then he got put in charge. Were they victims of their own success? They could have stayed and, perished in the famine. They could have gone to Egypt and sort of half-assed it and not really stood out and not threatened the Pharaoh, hiding their light, so to speak. Were they victims of their own success? Are there ways that you are a victim of your own success? Are there ways that you have invited something into your life and then you find, oh my gosh, I have this thing in my life, now I'm responsible for it? The stories in the Bible, as I have said a lot of times, are historical or metaphorical or metaphysical. They are not labeled. It does not tell you ahead of time which one is which. There's great misunderstanding for many people who think that something that's metaphorical is historical. This is something that actually happened. Well, probably not. But we get to learn from the stories and from the richness in the telling. Maybe some of the things that we think are metaphorical actually happened. I don't know. Today is Palm Sunday, which is the day that in the Bible says that Jesus came into Jerusalem. And there was a big celebration and there was a parade, and it was probably a protest. It was probably a protest. And it was the week before Passover. So he was there for Passover. And then it did not go as well as he had planned, or not sure what he had planned, but the next Sunday is Easter Sunday. And we celebrate, Christianity celebrates Easter Sunday as the rising from the dead. And that is hugely metaphorical and metaphysical for us. Because in order to rise from the dead, in order for the phoenix to rise from the ashes, it has to be dead. The phoenix has to burst into flames. Okay? In order for the butterfly to emerge from the cocoon, whatever the caterpillar was is gone. So what's the transformation that you're involved in now? What's the spring cleaning that you're doing? Are you going to have a metamorphosis? Are you going to have a rebirth? Are you going to have a transformation? Are you going to get rid of those extra 5 pounds? I mean, there's no judgments. Whatever it is that you're intending to create, whatever it is that we're opening to, we get to, again, the agricultural metaphor, we get to plant that seed. We get to till the soil, we get to tend the garden, and then we get to harvest the good that we're seeking. So it's a whole big process. It's not a sudden gift that shows up out of nowhere. It's the way that we engage with it. And even when we're in that dark winter time, we can be preparing and opening and allowing and getting ourselves ready so that when our springtime comes along, there's something spectacular. So that's the invitation for each of us, for each of you. Plant some wonderful seeds. Have a beautiful, bountiful springtime and let something blossom. You deserve it. So it is.